Yeah, Prophet Marshall Occurrence. Back at it, man. Back at it. This video is going to be about you gotta choose your side, man. You know what I'm saying? Because those who don't choose their side gonna become casualties. There's a lot of people that think they know God and everything like that. And if you're not able to discern where we're going, you're gonna ride the fence and become a casualty, man. That's what's gonna happen. This is the message. This is the last message I was gonna do. See, everybody and their mama think they know God, bro. And it's time for prophets to put on for Jesus, for real. You know, it's time for people to put on for Jesus, for real. That know God. And you really live for God. I mean, you know, how these rappers and everybody talking about God, you know, and we, last time I checked, you know what I'm saying, we the ones suffering for Jesus. Because see, me as a prophet, this is what I look at. We suffer for Jesus. Y'all don't. If I don't see no suffering for Jesus, man, bro. We call out fake people in the streets, and we also call out over here fake Christians in the streets. Same situation. Cause you in the streets, you ain't with God, but you out there wearing crosses. Got a nice diamond encrusted cross, didn't you? Got these diamond encrusted crosses. He got a diamond encrusted cross, didn't he? But you ain't suffering for Jesus. And that's what we look at. That's what the prophet looks at. Ain't no way in the world in 2026 you gonna call yourself a Christian. Call yourself a man of God or a woman of God, but you ain't suffering for Jesus. See, this is how we know it's part of it. One of the fruit of the Spirit is long suffering. Long suffering. That's the fruit that the American Christians and many Christians around in the world don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about long suffering, because that's where, you know, you got to put your big girl panties on. That's where you got to be a real man. You gotta give it that extra that these homosexuals can't give it. Now you can't give it that you ain't got that. And that's what it takes to put that long suffering in. You gotta have that long suffering. Cause see, what a lot of Christians, that American Christians are talking about, and those influenced by American Christians, when they talk about the fruit of the Spirit, they talk about love. That's the only one they insinuate. Most American Christians, anytime they talk about the fruit of the Spirit, more times than not, they insinuate love. But I can show you in the Bible where it says it's a time of hate. It's a time to love and a time to hate. So then right there is where the 2026 Christian, especially the younger generation, is going to separate themselves from the older generations. Because you didn't elevate. We see a place where you didn't elevate into understanding that it's not always a time of love. But you always taught love, but you never taught that it's a time to love and a time to hate. It's real. It's not toxic though. See, I arrived as the full master, okay? Where I understood in life that there's two dynamics, the most powerful dynamics, which is love and hate. Now you're gonna think, okay, no, you don't know where I'm gonna go with this. You got toxic hate and healthy hate. You thought it was toxic, didn't you? Oh yeah, you got healthy hate, because anything that God tells you to do, it ain't gonna be no toxic hate. It's gonna be healthy hate. You got toxic love, which most of y'all got, and most of us got. And then you got healthy love. That's the four dynamics. The main ones you should be paying attention to is healthy hate and healthy love, right? Okay, so if you have not elevated as a master, you would think, and I ain't talking about Freemasons, I'm a real master. If you have not elevated as a master, you gonna think you gonna think there's only one type of hate, which is toxic hate. Because you did not elevate, because your philosophers told you that there's only love in the world. That's the only thing you're gonna use in a healthy sense. But to me, that don't make sense, because the more you grow as a human being, you learn all these different things about life. And how could it be just love all the time? How could you operate just in love, and then when you look at your life and realize, I can't show love to everybody? Nah, that ain't what I'm supposed to do. So then what you supposed to do? To be defensive about your life and offensive about your life, militarily speaking. You supposed to practice healthy hate. The Bible says it's a time to love and a time to hate. Okay, so you trivialize the hate that's talked about. That's what you're telling me. Well, it's in there. Okay, it's in there. Okay, so then, even with the fruit of the Spirit, it's a time to hate. That's 7 hour. Oh yeah, buddy. I'm already started. I'm warmed up already, buddy. Listen. It's a time to hate, even if you got the fruit of the Spirit. Boy, that's good. Now, keep it 100. I'm not being prideful. You ain't heard that before. Come on. You ain't heard it before. It's a time to hate, right? It's in the Bible. And you got the fruit of the Spirit. But even though you got the fruit of the Spirit, it's a time of hate too. It could be a time of hate with the fruit of the Spirit. With the fruit of the Spirit, it could be a time of hate. Wow. See, I'm convinced that most people that have heard anything about Christianity was influenced by certain American Christians that taught the love philosophy. That's how I put it. And that's why you got a lot of people thinking they Christians and they not. If you're not suffering for Jesus, man, you ain't gonna pass the smell test over here. We get it in. We get it in, and we suffer over here, and we suffer willingly as real servants of God. If you're not doing that, buddy, listen, man, you ain't no way in the world. You ain't no way in the world. I ain't cussing no more. Ain't no way in the world you gonna be over here saying you a Christian, bruh, but you doing everything. You smoking Black and Milds. You know what I'm saying? You eating every day. You ain't fasting. You having sex when you want to. You masturbate when you want to. You watch porn when you want to. You watch all the new porn. You got, you got all these pornos and and you get to do all of that, and then but you a Christian. You enjoying the world. I'm gonna call it out just like the streets will call out fraudulent, man. I'm calling it out. It's fraudulent, it's counterfeit, man, and it's time for it to stop, man. Just stop talking about God, man. That's all I'm asking, bro. You should expect a Christian, if you keep it 100, man. If you already know you ain't living no Christian life, man. So you should expect this ain't hating on somebody or nothing. You know what I mean? You should expect a Christian that's suffering for Jesus willingly, to call you out when you ain't suffering. See how I cut past other stuff, what you used to? We talking about suffering for Jesus. You ain't doing it. You get to do, in other words, you doing everything you want to do. You smoking Newports. You drinking 40s. Oh, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, everybody drinking beer tonight. Well, that's how I go. And you know what? I didn't realize that when I was younger. The reason why everybody drank beer. You know what? The reason why everybody drank beer on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday, so nobody don't pass out. Everybody together drinking fifths. They ain't gonna watch the game. You ain't gonna pay attention. You get about halfway through that fifth, bro. You gonna want to turn up. You ain't, especially if you're young, you gonna go in the other room, man. Hey, young dude gonna get tipsy and go in the other room, man. He gonna want to listen to music. I'm serious though, man. But I'm right. Oh, he gonna be like, I'm cool, man. He gonna go in the other room tipsy. Listen, man, that's real. That's real. By the way, everybody drinking beer today. You know what I mean? You're gonna drink about 10 beers. But I understand why. Because if you start drinking liquor, man, you might black out. You gonna miss half the game. Hey, dudes learn their lesson, man. They learned their lesson, man. By the 70s and 80s, they had it down to a science. Well, we gonna just drink beer tonight. So you gonna have that beer going. You gonna have them chicken wings. You ain't fasting. And I say humbly, guess what? The prophet fasted. Listen, come on, man. Listen, man. You hung over from last night. Listen, it's a freak show out there now. Everybody laying around passed over from last night. Especially in California, that's where they partying at right there. That's where the Super Bowl gonna be. San Francisco. I just left San Francisco last year. That's why I just tell these lame dudes, bro. I was on the streets of San Francisco. I got the videos to prove it. And I ain't even know all this stuff, y'all. The Super Bowl is gonna be there and Sunday. I ain't know no corny stuff like that, man. I went over there to give me my documents. Like a real African man would tell you. Listen. African immigrant, I had to go get my documents, man. That's why I went over there. That's the truth. I went there for documents. I got it too. The main document. I can go get my social security card anywhere, but it's easier to get that. But the ID, you gotta have them points. It's not inadequacy. You gotta have, listen. Some people are like, oh, it's so easy. Why can't you just get an ID? Oh, it's not about working hard. It's not if I work hard, I'll get an ID. It's not a matter of will and working hard with my will. It's you either got the points or you don't. In the second to last ID I got, I barely got it. That they was gonna turn me away. Man, I asked to speak to the manager up in the DMV. I don't play no games, man. I said, let me talk. No, hold on. Let me talk to the manager. I said, look, man, I got this birth certificate right here. And I'm on the streets, it's gonna get severed because I move around a lot. I was like, man, come on, hold up, man. I can't do nothing without this ID. I can't get a job. I can't do nothing without this ID, bro. And the manager was like, oh, okay, well, I'll see what I can do. She took a copy of it, and I got the ID. But if I was a sucker, I would have just walked away. That's what I'm saying, man. There's so many ways to show you. Real dudes get what they need to get done, and suckers just get played and get played with. And I don't. I don't. I get access, buddy. That part. I get access. I get access, man. If I would, that person would have sent me away. I want you to think about that. Knowing I ain't getting no ID for play, for games. That's in California. I was like, she knew I wasn't playing. I was like, nah, hold up, man. I gotta have this, man. I gotta have it. I talked to the manager. Go bring me the manager. Let me talk to your master. Cause I gotta have it, bro. I gotta have it, you know what I'm saying? And then I lost the ID. Somebody stole it. Crazy story, man. And I was without it for all that time. Then I went back over there last year in San Francisco and got my ID. So anyway, man, yeah, that's where it's at today. They're gonna be over there today in California, where I was at in San Francisco. That's where the game gonna be. I know enough for my surroundings. The reason why I check for stuff like that is I know my surroundings. You know, that's basically the truth about the situation. I'm gonna know my surroundings. Okay? And that's good to know for various reasons. Just in case something else come up, something else happens, something else you can figure out. You get it? So, next, man, back to what I was saying. And now that we see people putting on for Jesus, and people think they know Jesus, man, it's time for God's people in this very final hour to set the record straight. If you're, and how we gonna put it, it's not, and this is no disrespect, not coming out here just doing Christian rap and just jumping around and bouncing around doing Christian rap. Nah. The way you really put on for Jesus, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's nothing's wrong with that. But the way you put on for Jesus to let people know, bro, listen, man, if you're not suffering for Jesus, listen, buddy, it's no way in the world you can be repping this side. That's what I'm saying. And all this time, these people have it. Nah, man, they ain't repping for Jesus, man. They ain't suffering. They think this is religion, and they see me, and they realize this is spirituality. Oh, whoa! I didn't know this was spirituality. Yeah, well, what? Well, I mean, somebody that worked witchcraft would know it's the other side of spirituality. You can't think that's the only side. Right, sucker. Okay then. So then, self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory, buddy. There's another side to spirituality. I represent that very well, right? I get it in. And I'm not going to be disrespected without consequences. And that's facts. I make it known. I make it clear. You ain't going to be able to use age. I don't care about your age. Your age means nothing to a general. Your age mean nothing to a soldier. I don't care about your age. That's for what, high school kids or something. Well, I'm a grown man myself. I'm a grown man myself. Imagine me caring about your age. And if you black, you realize when young dudes start bucking up about 19, they start bucking up about 19, buddy. They ain't taking, that's that part. They ain't taking nothing off their daddy. They ain't taking nothing off their uncles. They ain't taking nothing off these old heads out there about 19. I call it about 19, bro. Younger than that, I'll say 17, actually. About 17, you stop taking anything off these old heads, and that's facts, bruh. So imagine me with a child in the world myself. Imagine me taking something off these so-called old heads, and I done brought a child into the world. You got the wrong man, buddy. I tell you that. I tell you that, little buddy. I got a child in the world. I see my child born in the delivery room. I cut the cord. I did all that parents do, fathers do. I paid money, sent money to my child and everything, buddy. Yeah. This is what make men. This is what it's all about. Ain't too much more to it. Ain't too much more to it. Have these kids, you know what I'm saying? Have you a nice woman. So even the prophet done had a child in the world. So you can't kick that. I'm just like the best of them. You know what I'm saying? I got kids in the world, everything like that. I got a child in the world. I got one child in the world. You know what I'm saying? My son is a grown man. My son is grown. That's why, that's what I'm saying. I'm supposed to talk like this. You got a grown child, a grown son in the world. It don't matter if you with him or not, because real men know things get complicated and how things happen with these females and everything like that. So a man gonna look at it a little, on the technicality. You got a child, you got a son in the world that's 18. Okay. 18, he ain't no little boy. So that means you went way back to the fact his birthday is this month. Okay, stop playing with me, bro. I'm a grown man over here, bro. Stop playing with me, bro. That's why I talk like a papa. You know what I'm saying? I wake up like a papa supposed to. You know what I mean? I fed my son his bottle, that formula and all. I've been through all of that. Changing diapers, been through all of that. Okay, so stop playing with me like I'm some weirdo that never had a child in the world, and I'm just weirdo because you watching them white boys that make up them sci-fi movies. Them white boys that make up them sci-fi movies. That's what got you off track. Them sci-fi white boys. Them sci-fi white boys, ain't it? That's who it is to me. Soon as a grown man, a black man tell you he got a child in the world, listen, it stops there, buddy. It stops there. You know what I'm saying? It stops there, buddy. Because some people don't got no children. Some people ain't got no sons. So imagine you playing with me like I'm such a weirdo and everything like that. And the truth is, the position you playing, and that's why, my African intuition gonna pull me up off you. And I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to stay in my lane, very dangerous, And that's it. That's all, I'm not going to play who's the smartest kind of game. You know what the who the smartest is? Well, I can tell you what you're doing here, and I can tell you what you're doing there, and I can tell you what you're going... I'm not playing who's the smartest game. I'm not playing who's the smartest. I don't care who's the smartest. Quite frankly, I don't care who's the smartest. And see, people, if you're not paying attention, it's some corny stuff like that going on too. People like who's the smartest, and do we know this, and I don't care. I know enough. I know enough for you to go on to the grave. You to go on to the grave. Go on to the grave. You know what I'm saying? You done enough to go on to the grave. And see, I'm not influenced by these American Christians. I'm influenced by African Christians outside of America. That's who I'm influenced by. I'm not influenced by American Christians. Okay, so I know that if you're consistent and persistent in spiritual war and witchcraft, you deserve death. And I can go find African Christians that can vouch for that perspective. See, if you just listen to these American Christians, you should have knew Africans was going to see it differently. You know what I'm saying? You know, an African see it like, if you're persistent in witchcraft, okay, I have no choice. It's not a matter of hate. It's a matter of, okay, what should I do? What do I do? You use witchcraft against me for months and months and years, and I'm supposed to be this loving person that is praying for you. And you think about that. Some people even think it's their prayer assignment. It's your prayer assignment to pray for these people that's bro. I feel so sorry for a lot of American Christians. You've been brainwashed basically to this cult of love in everybody and everything, and love and all these people that's stepping on your name and stepping on your likeness and stepping on who you are as a person. And you think you're supposed to just walk around with love. That's not even common sense to me. That doesn't make common sense. Think about it. Even let's just look at it in the animal kingdom. If you was an animal, God gave every animal, most animals, defense mechanisms to defend themselves in the wild, right? He didn't give it to them just for them to be humble and just walk around with these defense mechanisms. They got different things that they can kill their enemies. Like porcupines have all the different, you know, what's the technical word? I'm looking for the technical word. But let's just say they have all the different quilts. I think it's called something like that. But they have it all. Like a porcupine is not going to be destroyed by no wolf. If a wolf try to play with a porcupine, it's going to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be worth it. A skunk, the same thing. A skunk doesn't have no, you know, things to defend. So it sprays odor on the wolf. The wolf is going to be so funky. He gonna walk away. God gave every animal those things. So how you a human being and you ain't got nothing? And you're higher ranking than a human. That's what I understood. And that shows you God's perspective. You have the right to defend yourself. Boom. That's 7 out. Well, if he gave animals the right to defend themselves, how you ain't got the right to defend yourself? How he don't want you to do it? See what I mean? Now you're not as brainwashed as you once were. Now you're not as brainwashed as you once were, bro. It's not a game. It's not a game at all. I realize I have my spiritual gifts, and I can use them against my enemies. And you would think that I'm blowing them up and doing all this stuff, how they watch me and walk, you feel me? Like I'm Osama bin Laden around here, you know, but I ain't got no physical operations. I ain't doing nothing physically to these people. Let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind, how spoiled my enemies is, that I'm not even doing nothing physically. And I'm going to keep pointing that out to you, because there's nothing physically going on. That's how spoiled and messed up my enemies are from the spiritual warfare. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing nothing physically to these people. But that's how a person gonna act when they affected by spiritual warfare. You're doing this to me. This is the other side of it. I ain't, what do you mean? Physically? I'm doing something to you. I ain't doing nothing to you. You just played in my lane, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I guess you thought I was in my 20s, and I'm not in my 20s. I demand my respect like a real man supposed to. Okay, you're not dealing with a youngin over here. I'm not a youngin. Stop. Now I'm at that age where I demand to be respected as a man. I'm not a youngin. I'm not one of these young dudes out here. You know what I'm saying? And if you one of them people that want to be young forever, that's you. That's you. Each to each his own. To me, I'm glad to grow up so I get my proper respect, buddy. And that's what I'm saying. Cause a young dude gonna always be jumping through these hoops with these old heads like he got something to prove to him, and I don't. I don't got nothing to prove to no old heads. Let's make that very clear. I've done things that they haven't even done. I lived on the West Coast. Half these old heads over here in New York, and you ain't lived in the West Coast. You haven't. You either have or you haven't. If you haven't, then listen, I surpassed what you've done in your lifetime. So imagine me taking advice from you. I'm not saying I can't learn from every person, but imagine me seeking you for advice or seeking you for guidance or something. Imagine that. It's not gonna happen, buddy. I'm a nationwide soul. I'm a nationwide soldier. You got nationwide soldiers and you got local soldiers or East Coast soldiers or whatever. You might have went up and down the East Coast. For a New Yorker, that's probably the best you did. But you never went out west. And I know that. Okay, so I'm a nationwide soldier. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine you thinking in any form of fashion you can see me. And that's real, bro. That's real. We in a whole different league of our own. Like the NFL is not the local football league. It's not the LFL. It's the NFL. You know what N stand for in this case? National Football League, which means these players have experience fighting everybody all over the country. I got experience fighting people all over the country. Now imagine me and you know, you see how you played yourself? I mean, because you can say your organization is national, but you're not national. You're not national. Okay, your organization is national. That's like me, a football team. Oh, this is the national football team, but these players are local. They never fought nobody on the West Coast. They never fought nobody down south. So it's just a national organization that has local. That's not gonna work with these people because they fight every city. I done been through all these cities. You can't see me, buddy. You dreaming. You absolutely, and that's in spiritual warfare. You are dreaming. I fought California devils. I fought Florida devils. All them rednecks and all that stuff with witchcraft, all that. You thinking I'm just facing these black hoodoo and voodoo people. I face white people that use that stuff. Down in Florida. Now imagine you trying to see me. That's what I'm saying, bro. I can tell you why I'm like this. I can tell you why. I can explain it very fluently and fluidly why you can't see me. And the foundational reason is you are a local. You're a local person. And New York can't win it all. If you ain't never been in the West Coast, you know, you don't rank where I rank. You're a local New Yorker. You're not a nationwide, you're not in the nationwide league. Now you see what I'm saying? You're not nationwide, buddy. I am. I already know how New Yorkers are. I got them sized up real good. And that's not gonna beat me at all. That's not gonna beat me. And see, just like NFL, man, you know, you got teams that's from down south like Cowboys and all of that. And you can play like they some Southern boys and all of that, but consistently, Dallas is better than the Giants. Consistently. over the years, let's call it how it is. Over the years, Dallas has been more consistent and with wins and all of that. Now, New York Jets too, Buffalo too, more consistent. Okay, so you got Southern teams that don't play no games, can beat you at your own game, no pun intended. So I'm one of them dudes, you know, even though I'm from down south, I can whoop a New Yorker real good and easy. I can whip you up real good, buddy. I can whip you real good. Okay? Let's get that understood. Because you'll come out here with your little New York chest out like you can do something. Well, I'm from New York. I can do something about this. Well, oh, here we go. This is Brooklyn. I can do. Well, this is Brooklyn. We got Brooklyn stand up. We can do something about this. How you feel now with Brooklyn standing up? You played yourself, didn't you? You played yourself, didn't you? Stop playing, bro. Like I was saying with Fat Joe while we talk about New York, Fat Joe was talking about African Bambaataa, right? Okay, so in the video, there's not a lot of videos where he's talking about African Bambaataa. There's a few videos, and he's going to talk about, well, you know how I feel. This is what he says. You know how I feel. All pedophiles should be, how does he put it? What's the actual word he used? He used the word child molester. All child molesters should be killed or should die. He said all child molesters should die. Some way he put it like that. And my thing is this. Okay, so then Fat Joe goes to the White House, as we all know. Okay, so why you ain't saying nothing about the child marriage in America? If that's your principle, and you really feel that way, then why are you not addressing child marriage laws, marrying children in the United States? So he can go on record for saying child molesters should die. Okay, so go on record for saying America marrying children. I'm applying that same perspective, which means this system should be torn down for leading us on all these decades for thinking they protected children, but they was marrying children the whole time. See, I'm gonna tell you one thing about me, bro. I'm a man that lived homeless on the streets as a soldier. It's no way you're gonna break me in this building. I'm too strong for that. I'm a soul survivor. I'm a soul survivor. You ain't gonna ever break me in this building. And only a white boy kind of mentality will think you can put pressure on me and break me. It's not gonna work, bro. I'm telling you. All you're gonna do is hurt yourself. Last people that use witchcraft close to me, the door over, the room over, blood was all on the wall and everything. He got in a fight with somebody else in here. Blood all on the wall and everything, bro. Blood all down the stairways. Do you look at it my way or your way? What you think it means? People that try to play with witchcraft and play around me, you're gonna wind up getting scooped up out of here. I got evidence to prove that. I'm definitely sure that person was using witchcraft next door, right? Okay, so I'm definitely sure the repercussions was when blood was everywhere, all on the floor and everything, he got scooped up out of here. It's gonna happen to you too. I don't feel no compassion for you. I want you to really know that. I don't feel no compassion. I'm not brainwashed like these American Christians Well, I think I'm supposed to pray for you, and you playing games with me. No. So this video is all about this. You got to choose your side. There are many people, and this is deeper than what you think it is. It goes beyond the obvious. People that's out there in the world, like I talked about, these rappers that wear crosses on they videos and everything, but they ain't never served Jesus and suffered for Jesus a day in their life. It goes beyond that too. It goes into, if you're willing to let go of America, you got to choose your side. If America is doing all of this evil, and they're doing all of this stuff, how you gonna still be with America and say you're a Christian? Come on, bro. Listen, the writing is on the wall. What the bad part about an American is they will think that they can be a Christian and fight for their country. That time is over. Can't you see? And how we know is because of gay and lesbian marriage in the country. That's how we know. That's how we know. You can't marry gay people and lesbians and say you're a Christian country. That's an oxymoron. No. That's like saying I'm feeding my dog cat food. I'm gonna feed my dog 9 lives. And he gonna like it. It's gonna run his bowels off. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna feed my dog 9 lives. Friskies. I'm gonna feed my dog Friskies. Really? You gonna feed your dog Friskies? When you say you a Christian and you with America, that's like saying I'm gonna feed my dog Friskies. You can't. Listen, you don't gotta take my opinion. Jesus Christ would not be part of a country that is marrying gay and lesbian people. Let's get that very, very understood here. Okay? Jesus Christ would no. He would not vote on a local level or on a national level. And he's the example that we follow. If you are spiritually mature, you know that Jesus cannot strengthen the satanic kingdom. He can't do anything that can bring a spiritual legality of liability for empowering the satanic kingdom. He can't have his hands in where if whatever he did strengthen the satanic kingdom, and here and there a little bit, nah. Okay, that's voting. It's one thing to go out here and buy these clothes, and then we know there's gay people behind the organization. I mean, there ain't really nothing you could do about that part, right? But just keep it to a minimum as much as you possibly humanly can. But when it comes to voting in the country where you know they got gay and lesbian marriage in all 50 states, how can you vote for any politician without strengthening gay and lesbian movements and agendas? Because Trump, whether you recognize it or not, his administration is still low-key supporting gay and lesbian movements. His country, his administration is still low-key. They ain't singing songs about it, But they still supporting gay and lesbian causes, man. That's common sense right here. That's common sense. I got it right here. Okay? And so there's no administration that's coming into the White House that don't, and he wouldn't even get in there if he didn't somehow support gay and lesbian marriage. He wouldn't get in there. You get it, right? Okay. So he supports gay and lesbian community. His administration has to. It's just that understanding has to be understood. And then when he bring in the Republicans with the House of Congress, they're going to support gay and lesbian marriage and causes. And Trump is going to support certain politicians on a local level that supports those things. So if it's not Trump, it's who he supports. That's 7 out. Trump is going to support some type of politician. Some gay and lesbian politician that support these causes. And you know that for sure. You know that for sure. If it's not the Trump administration, Trump is still going to support local politicians all around the country, right, that do actually pass gay laws and lesbian laws and support gay and lesbian laws. Okay, so let's get that understood. So it's no way you can vote for someone that will even help them. These other politicians that's gay, that support gay and lesbian causes. You can't vote for any person that also will go and support others. Jesus couldn't do it. Jesus couldn't vote for Trump and then Trump go on to support gay and lesbian supporting politicians. Jesus can't vote for Trump and he supported a mayor that's openly, you see what I'm saying, supporting gay and lesbian causes. No, it don't work like that, buddy. God, Jesus Christ, the Messiah, would only vote for someone that takes a stand and does not support any politician that makes gay laws or or support gay causes and movements. So you know Trump does. You know that's just the bottom line here. You know he does. So that's for his administration. You go to the Democratic administration, most of them do. Most of them are going to support gay and lesbian movements. This is why. This is the foundational reason why you as a Christian cannot support America. Okay? Did I make it clear? Okay. Okay. So it ain't nobody's confused here. Like it's hate or, nobody's confused with why I say this. This is why. Okay, so there is no more supporting America as a Christian. Listen, this is how you need to hear it. With the time that went by, they became more evil, and as a result, we had to depart from the Americans. That's how you need to hear it. That's the bottom line. Okay? You get it, right? Okay. So it's not a matter of, we just, this person just hates America. Nah, bro, it ain't got nothing to do with that. What it got something to do with is the times have changed drastically, where there's gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country, and nobody really talked about it as Christian leaders. Christian leaders didn't talk about it. Show me a Christian leader that talked about it. Huh? Which one? See, they're gonna become casualties. You know why? Because they wanna ride the fence. They wanna ride the fence. They wanna ride the fence and be cool with everybody on a philosophy of love. This is not a philosophy of love. This is a philosophy of reality. That's real, bro. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Jesus Christ would not support this community, this kingdom, America. Nope. Okay, so then what are you doing? Oh, supporting my country. Your first country is heaven as a Christian. Your first nation is Christianity. Your first nation is God's people. Your first nation is the Word of God. Okay? See, you can have all the love in your heart, but guess what? You don't have the way to follow God. You don't. No, you don't. That's why I trip off of you. Every human is made with a certain amount of, you live, you're going to have love. That's assaulting my intelligence. You don't have righteousness and holiness. Okay? You don't have it. And you don't have it because you're not in the Word of God. I don't need America to tell me what I need to do today and what's going on today. I know what's going on today. We can't follow America. That's what's going on today. And why? The foundational reason is because the country is cursed with gay and lesbian marriage. That's why. Okay, listen. You want to be nice and you want people to do what they want to do. That's you. That's your lane. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting into all of that. I'm a prophet that's gonna come in with the technicalities. You can't have gay and lesbian marriage on a nation and think that can coexist with answered prayer from God. You can't have gay and lesbian marriage and think answered prayer is going to coexist. And God is going to be answering prayer, but y'all got gay and lesbian marriage in the country. This cursed the country. Now, what men do in their bedroom and women do in their bedroom is between them and God. I'm not the one in this particular situation to drag you out the bedroom with another man or another woman. That's not my position, right? Okay, but you cursed all of us. We all had to suffer because they made gay and lesbian marriage laws over the country. That's what the problem is. It cursed everybody. We all have to suffer. We all got to suffer because they wanted to marry gay men and lesbian men. And like I said, it wasn't about love. No, it wasn't about love. It was about rich gay and lesbians wanting to be acknowledged financially as a couple. Think about it. A poor person don't even know where to start talking about some gay marriage. You're going to just shack up just like heterosexuals do and live with a gay partner or a lesbian partner. So who was it? It was these rich lesbians and gay people that wanted to be acknowledged financially by the banks, so that when they go to the bank, they'll get the same packages and the package deals that heterosexual couples get when they go to the bank as a couple. They wasn't getting that. They wasn't acknowledged as a couple. So gay and lesbian marriage in America is all about the money. It's all about being acknowledged as a couple financially. Keep it 100. I'm the first person you heard this from. The Lord showed me all of this. This ain't about no love, because gay people gonna shack up anyway. They gonna get together anyway. So how hard you gonna fight for it to be in every state like that and fight so hard for it? Because it was really rich people. It was gay rich people that wanted to be acknowledged as a couple. They wanted the same perks for that they get at banks with heterosexuals. They wanted the same perks. When they go to a bank, they can go and get this deal, this deal, this deal. But if you ain't a couple married, it's certain things you ain't gonna get. You ain't gonna be able to claim this other person on your taxes. Not if they're not married to you, no. Okay then, so then it's not about love, it's about being acknowledged financially as a couple. That's what I'm saying. And it goes back to what the Bible says, the love of money is the root of all evil. People want to be, the love of having more money is why this evil even took place in our community. Okay, that's it, bro. That's why everything's suffering as it is. That's why this is the way it is. 10 years later, it's been 10 years since gay and lesbian marriage, going on 11 years. Look at the country in 10 years. That's what it is. Gay and lesbian marriage has only been in the community for 10 years. It's been in some states longer than others, but the whole country, it's only been 10 years. That's young. And look at the country 10 years later. In fact, COVID came 5 years later after gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country. This is why it's the end. They officially became Sodom and Gomorrah when they put gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country. I'm just letting you know where it's at from the prophet. Ain't no prophet gonna sit up and not tell you this. Think about that now. What kind of prophet would I be? A prophet can come out of that stuff, from doing that stuff, because I'm human. But once the prophet comes to the position of a prophet, what kind of prophet would I be to tell you, to not tell you, that this is why this country is cursed? The prophet is going to point out why it's happening. A diviner, a psychic, a telepath, a witchcraft person is blind, is stupid. They don't know why this stuff is happening. I do know why it's happening. The foundational reason is because you put gay and lesbian marriage in the country. Like I said, if you wanted to do what you wanted to do in your bedroom, that's between you and the Lord, right? But you cursed all of us when these laws covered the whole country, because we can't come in as Christians no more. You can't have God blessing a country like this. No. I dare any preacher try to challenge me talking about God can bless this country and they got gay and lesbian marriage over the whole country. I dare you to bring somebody talking about something else. And look, man, that's why people are becoming casualties. All these Christians are falling off. See, in the Bible it says this, that in the last days many shall depart from the faith. Many. You thought in a simple way, oh, it'd be some kind of mysterious kind of spooky kind of deception. It'll be some vices or people just doing what they want to do now. You know what part of the great deception is going to be? And it is right now. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's people that decided not for this country. It's people that decided to think that they can follow God and have America with them at the same time. You fell away from the faith because you didn't choose a side, and therefore you became a casualty. You didn't choose a side. And that's what it is. It ain't no way around this. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, you a Christian and then you cool and then you voting in America, you with these politicians and all these people and everything, and God is serious about his word. What he said is, this is an abomination. Lesbians too, not just homosexuals, lesbians as well. You can't, anything that is not heterosexual in nature, it's an abomination. Let's put it like that. With all these upgrades, all these different sexualities, if you will. If it's not heterosexual, it's an abomination. Okay? It's spirits out here, bro. That's the bottom line. It's spirits out here. If you do not follow the word of God, this is why you got off track. And see, some of y'all never didn't, you don't have no real relationship with God. So for you, what does it matter for you to stick to Christianity when you don't really follow Christianity? You gonna think, well, you know, it ain't that serious. I don't really care what they do. I'ma still vote. I'ma still do what I should do as an American that supports this country. I mean, it don't matter. It ain't that serious for me because you don't suffer for Jesus. You don't suffer for the Lord. We do. This proves it once again. We suffer for Jesus. We don't vote. Nope. See, to me, it just makes common sense that in the last days, how you gonna be with America and it's the end of the world? How? You gonna be, as a Christian, before the end actually comes, there's going to be a separation. And I'm gonna be doing a video about this. That's 7 hours. There's going to be a separation before the end comes. Before the end comes, there's going to be a separation. Because you follow righteousness and holiness. That's why. Not because you hate people. In this situation, it's not about even the biblical healthy hate in this situation. You follow the word of God. That's what it is. You got to be man enough to say it like it is. Okay? You think it's hate? You simple-minded. I'm following the word of God. That's what it is. Okay? So, this is why we can't follow the Americans. You see what I'm saying? And there's no way around it, man. It's no way around it. I'm not trying to hear any way around it. If you don't realize this you have fell away from the faith. That's what you have. That's how I see it. You fell away from the faith. See, the devil is tricky, bro. The devil is tricky and crafty. You know what I'm saying? If he know it's Christianity in this country, well, how I'm gonna make these people be deceived? How I'm gonna make them do something low key that they're not really discerning? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll box them out of the system by making the system evil, where now you can't deal with it. And guess what? That's a introduction to the mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast is going to be all about boxing God's people out of the system, and it's already started. So when the mark of the beast comes, whether you believe in pre-tribulation, rapture before the tribulation, or you believe in the Christians going through the tribulation, whatever you believe, this is the bottom line. In the tribulation time, Christians will not be a part of the system. You're gonna be part of the system as a Christian. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? You're not gonna be part of no system. And so why wouldn't it be happening now? Why wouldn't you be conditioned for it to happen? And there's a conditioning preparing the world, and where it's accelerating to the point where you won't even be able to sell or buy without that mark. Right? Okay, so it ain't gonna be no conditioning before that, is what I'm asking. It's just gonna be zap. Okay, now you can't buy nothing. It's gonna be stuff before that. And what it is the gay and lesbian marriage came in and boxed Christians out the system. So it has already started where you as a Christian are boxed out. You ain't got the courage to stand up. See, this is the true wiring of a prophet. Because the prophet gonna show you, ooh, that right there. No, listen. If there's going to be a boxing out of Christians in the system with our enemy, the Antichrist, with the mark of the beast and the New World Order, if God wants it to happen, what in essence, what's that's going to be? What is that going to be? It's going to be where if you're a Christian, you can't buy, sell, or do anything. Just add everything else. You can't get online. You ain't gonna be able to get online. You got to use your mark to get online. You got to use your mark probably to drive a car. You probably can't even drive a car. You got to use your mark to drive a car. Because they're going to make a smart part of a car. Possibly. For the new cars especially. Okay, so if that's what's going to happen, where Christians are going to be boxed out the system, right? At that moment in time, how is there no conditioning before it happens? How is there nothing that will condition the community before to prepare people to start boxing out people like me and you? It's already happening. Now you see what I'm saying? You're already being boxed out through the most unsuspecting element, gay and lesbian marriage. Yes, that's a chess move that Satan used. And if you're stupid, see, if you're righteous, Satan knows, oh, well, you can't be a part of this system no more. You're a righteous man. Come on, you know better than that. Come on. We getting you out the system. Which means you ain't gonna be able to get nothing from us, not too much longer. You see how it is? That's what it is. They ain't gonna want to do nothing for you too much longer. If you against gay and lesbian marriage and wickedness and unrighteousness, how much longer they gonna help you? How much longer they gonna be willing to help you? That's what I'm saying. Think about it. It has already started. You can't never say I'm retarded, buddy. Listen, buddy, you playing yourself. I talk more sense than your mom and your daddy do. I know I do. And that's how you know I'm not retarded. Well, I know I got more sense than your whole family. I know I do. I know what's going on. This whole country is being conditioned. This whole country is being conditioned to prepare for the mark, to prepare for the Antichrist, to prepare for the New World Order. It has to be a preparation. This is a gay and lesbian country. That's the preparation. But if you look at the dynamic of sex and heterosexuality, right? I mean homosexuality and lesbianism, then you gonna miss the technicality that you're pushed out. You're missing the technicality that you're pushed out the system. You know why? Because as a Christian, you did not follow after righteousness. You just went to church. And a Christian is going to be technical. Yeah, I am. I'm going to be technical about sin. Sin is sin, right? And I'm gonna be technical about it. It's not. And listen, it's not being biased. It's anything. It's whatever. You know, you don't see me smoking. You don't see me. It's other sins I don't do. Now, if I was doing everything else and I was just on gay stuff, and I say I'm a Christian, then you could say, okay, man, this dude is just on gay stuff. I'm on everything. I'm on anything that stops me, prevents me from getting to heaven. That's what I'm on. And that's how a Christian gonna look at it. Anything that's gonna stop me from getting to heaven, I'm not gonna do it. And I'm not gonna have any part I'm not gonna have anything to do with it. You get it, right? Okay. So the satanic kingdom is going to push out, and it started to push out Christians where they can't get no help from the system. That's what the mark of the beast basically is going to be. You can't get no help from us no more. If you're a Christian, you can't get no help. See what I'm saying? Are you ready for that? It's already happening. Whether God allows the mark of the beast or not, there's already a boxing out. You're boxed out. If you in your right mind of righteousness, right, and you ain't a coward, where you're just so used to being censored when you deal with the internet, and you're censored when you're at your job, and you can't say this, that you just allow that to make you accepting of a system that is gay and lesbian. That's how they got you. They intimidated you into compromising. That's what it was. That's what it was. Because you're so used to being censored on your job. You're so used to being censored on your phone. You can't say this on the social media. You can't say that here. You can't say that there. You can't go out here talking about it. You can't go, and then guess what? Low key, you ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna be conditioned to not say nothing against them people when you come home. So you're censored even at home in your decisions. You see how it works? You get censored so much that they can just let you go now because you're just censored. Because of cancel culture and all of that. Now you're just a censored person. See how it works? You're just a censored person, bro. And that's how they got you. But if you are a person that follow righteousness, how can you think that you can vote in a country on local level or national level that's gay in the whole country, gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country? Why would God want you to have something to do with that? Think about it. No, that's sin is all about technicality. That's all it's about. It's not about your feelings. It's not about see, this is how we know sin is technical. Because here, it's not about, you do it because of your country, the love you have for your country. But it doesn't make it right because you love America. Sin is still going to get you technically. Sin's still going to get you technically. And it don't matter what you talk about being a patriot. It don't matter what you talk about being an American Christian or whatever, however you want to dress this up and jazz this up. Sin's going to get you on technicalities. That's how the devil works. That's why it's a chess move from the devil. Because he knows the best rule is technicality. Well, technically, you're in sin. You can talk about love, you can talk about being a Christian, but technically, you got a liability, buddy. Your country marries children, technically. Your country marries gay and lesbian people. Those technicalities, you can't support it without sin. You can't support it without supporting the sin, can you? And you can't say, well, God will understand because it's too big of a situation of a person that could go and pass all kind of laws and all kind of gay and lesbian stuff. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to do. And every administration is going to do it. Can you imagine justifying that to God? This is what the devil going to tell you. No, it's technical. All I got to do is get technical. Just like in the sport, it's all about technical. It's not about how you feel, right? Or what you was trying to do. How you was I was trying to maneuver this way. Well, technically, you crossed this line. We don't care what you were trying to do, buddy. Obviously, you were trying to do something, but right here, we slowed it down and we seen that you crossed the line right here. Same thing. That's what I'm saying. That's not being legalistic. See, people say you're legalistic. That's not, no. Sin is technical. And on the technicalities of you having gay and lesbian marriage in the country, bro, it's no way in the world a Christian can have something to do with it. Nope. He got you on technicality, buddy. That's how he got you. See, the devil knows what he's doing. You know, that's why I see the true prophets and the true righteous people, we're all about technicalities. That's what we all about. God knows that we in this system, and it's a whole bunch of gay and lesbian people and people that support him. But you no longer vote. You ain't gonna vote though. You ain't gonna vote no more. You ain't gonna do that part. And God's gonna hold you accountable. Because you are supporting a system you should have known. The Bible says you are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, right? So how you not destroyed for a lack of information that you didn't know? You're destroyed by that too. You're destroyed because you didn't know your country was marrying gay and lesbian people in all 50 states. Find me a preacher that said it just like that on TV. Find me a preacher on YouTube talking about gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country. You ain't gonna find it. You're not gonna find it. So while you're thinking I'm fake and false, I'm saying exactly what I'm supposed to say, buddy. I'm saying exactly what I'm supposed to say. And then you can't find me no Christian you can't find me no preachers that's doing the same thing. You cannot have gay and lesbian marriage in the country and you're voting as a Christian. Remind you, I didn't tell you to go attack them. I didn't tell you to go do anything to them. I talk to you as a Christian, what you're supposed to do. You know what you're supposed to do? You don't supposed to vote anymore in this country. That's what you're supposed to do. Now we in the real last days. Now you're playing your real position. Now you see how it looks. Your position as a Christian in America, you're supposed to be voting as a Christian in the last days. That's what I'm saying. Now look how many people went out and voted. That's why it's falling apart. So people will wonder what you're supposed to do. What I'm supposed to do. You're supposed to let America fall apart. You don't supposed to help it no more. It doesn't serve your God. So why would you support it? It's never going to, listen, man, let me tell you something. It's never going to support God again. You understand? It's never going to be right again. As far as sin and all of this and the gay stuff, it's never going to be right again, bro. Just come to terms with it. The old America is gone. Okay? It's not going to be right again. Do you go hurt people? No. No. You know what you do? You depart. You depart. You separate. Okay? See, you see where we at? That's the real Christian position. Now, don't that make sense according to the last days? Okay, in 2026, Christians can't vote. That makes sense to me because of all the sin and things that they've done. Now it got so bad with the sin, we had to separate. That's what it is. You got to choose your side. or become a casualty. I'm talking about sniped off real good. And if you try to play that position where you can be loving everybody, look, this ain't, see, God ain't gonna tell you to show love, even though you in sin, I can show love even though it's a little sin going on. Nah, God gonna start withdrawing his people from this community. He ain't gonna say just go over there and love them and you can vote and you can do it. You know what I mean? He's not gonna, he's going to put, you have to walk in righteousness first. That's common sense. Then you go give love and all of this stuff. You see how it sounds anyway? I mean, let's be real. Who's thinking about showing all this love these days? Right now. Are you thinking about that? You think about going out here and all this love, giving love? You can feel it's not that season. You can feel it. It's not that season, bro. You can feel, if you real with yourself, when I said it, you felt exactly what I'm talking about. It's not that season. Too much has been done against God's people. And that's another thing. You can't attack God's people. Bro. You can't attack God's people and talking about you a Christian country. That's the next thing. That's the next elephant in the room. They gang stalk God's people. They gang stalk. This country participated. Americans helped these people, right? Okay, that's another reason you shake the dust off your feet and depart from America. Okay? That's two reasons. Okay? I just seen the spiritual light just now. I'm on the right track, man. I'm on the right track. Okay, are you? Because I mean, and right here is why I'm humble, right? I mean, I haven't seen anybody else say this plain and clean, man. You can't vote in America no more. No part. On a local level, on a national level. That's the real last days. Think about it. Well, if you had to think about the last days, at some point you ain't gonna support the system by vote because it's gonna be too much wickedness going on in the system. Think about it. Now you see what I'm saying? How you gonna be a part of it? It's too wicked. It's too unclean for you. And so you didn't realize the devil was real, did you? Satan made real chess moves, bruh. The devil made chess moves. And you're still trying to, instead of adjusting to the chess moves, you still trying to, you holding on to the stuff, you holding on to America before the chess moves. That's like playing chess with somebody, but you trying to go back to how it was before that person made the move. They made the move. It is what it is. You gotta adjust to it. You can't sit up and think, well, I like how it was before he made that move. I like my position in chess before he made that move on me. Come on, bro. Come on. That was a chess move from Satan, and I know it. I wouldn't say it just off technicality of sin if it wasn't true. I just say it's technicality of sin. It was a chess move. A good one too. It was a good one because it's technical. It's technical. It covered the whole country and it's technical. It's good and clean and technical. Ain't no way in the world a Christian gonna be happy that knows that this whole country is marrying gay and lesbian people. Ain't no way in the world you gonna think you're gonna get in somewhere. Ain't no way in the world you gonna think this is a Christian country that God is with. How God gonna be with them and they got gay and lesbian marriage? The devil knew what he was doing. That was his ultimate chess move, to take America from God, or the blessing of God from America, to take the protection of God from America. Then 5 years later, after they passed gay and lesbian marriage, then COVID came after that. 5 years later, after the gay and lesbian marriage was over the whole country, 5 years later, then came COVID-19. You don't see it? It has not been good since they passed these laws, is what I want you to see. No, it has not. You didn't look at it like that. How else is there to look at it? It has not been good since they passed these laws, and because you're so censored and biased, you did not pay attention. The prophet is the one that's going to show you the spiritual repercussions. This is why, people act like it's glamorous to be a prophet. A prophet has to say what nobody wants to hear. A real prophet is going to say what everybody don't want to hear, bro. What makes everybody angry. This is the truth. Okay? I know this for sure. I wouldn't be telling you this as some religious nut. I'm not a religious nut. It's about spiritual technicalities. It's no way in the world you can have gay and lesbian marriage over the whole country and think God is going to be ushering in blessings. Like it used to be. There used to be a mixture between righteousness and unholiness, right? And we still could get, as the country, there was nothing technical there yet. And then you could say at that time that God could be blessing the country. But not now. Satan made a chess move, okay? And if you don't know spiritual warfare, buddy, listen. You don't know what the moves the devil is making. You tripping, bro. You tripping. You don't know what's going on. It's not about. I could care less about what they doing. I don't care about what gay people doing. It ain't about that. You ain't gonna hear the prophet ever talk in terms of harping on what these gay and lesbian people doing. I don't care what they doing. Why would I care? Think about it. Why would I? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the sin that has separated this country from God. And I don't care what it is. I'm gonna talk about that. And the prophet's supposed to. It's the technicality of it. You can't have it in the system because that system is not going to be protected by God. That system is not going to be blessed by. Imagine this. You're a Christian, right? Okay. Imagine this system being blessed by God, but they got gay and lesbian marriage. Imagine this whole system being blessed by God and they got gay and lesbian marriage in the country. Imagine this system being empowered by God, but and strengthened and protected by God, but it got gay and lesbian marriage in the whole entire country. That's what did it. Satan knew what he was doing. It was the chess move. Gay people are just a pawn in this situation. In the bigger scheme of things, where the Satan is technical with sin to remove God's protection and blessing on this country. Okay? That's all this is. That's why I'm not talking about I don't care about that gay stuff no more. You ain't gonna ever hear me take no significant time to talk about it. Whether it be lesbians or whatever. You ain't gonna hear me take no significant time because it ain't no need to. For what? You know what I mean? It's no need for me to harp on that. They already know what it is anyway. Most gay people already know what it is anyway. You already know what the Bible says about it. So what? So you made the decision to continue to do what you're doing. So when I'm gonna beg you to serve God? No, I'm not. I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna beg you or lesbians or anybody else to serve God, because God don't want that kind of love anyway. Would you want love where people had to be begged to serve you? Who wants that kind of love? Would you want love where a woman was begged to be with you, begged to marry you or love you? No. If you knew somebody begged her to do it, you ain't gonna want her anyway. So God don't want no people down here that's begged into loving him, because it ain't gonna last. It's not genuine. Okay? When you give your heart to God on your own, I'm not saying somebody can't talk to you about it, but when you make the decision yourself, that's the love that God wants. Not somebody forced and begged you to serve God. These people have been boxed out of God's protection and God's blessing. And that's what a real prophet is going to tell you. And I'm not telling you on the technicality of trying to be a prophet. You know what I mean? This is what's in my soul to tell you. There's no way in the world. It's no way in the world, buddy, that you can have gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country as the laws now, and think you got God's protection and God's blessing. It's not gonna work. Any fool gonna tell you that. A fool can tell you that. And what I'm tripping off of, these be the same people that's against homosexuality and lesbianism be out there voting. They're the same people, right? They the ones they the main ones harping on it. All this gay stuff, lesbian, but you go vote. You go vote in a country that has gay and lesbian marriage in the whole entire country. Imagine you going. Imagine how God takes you. You talk about how a man should be with a woman and a woman should be with a man, but then you got gay and lesbian marriage in your country. See, you don't have the courage to stand up and say, if I don't get anything out this system no more, that's okay. See, this is what we got to go through. You see what I'm saying? If I don't get what I need from America no more by standing for Jesus, you thought it was going to be easier than it is. It's not going to be easy. The devil has begun to box Christians, those who stand for righteousness, out the system. You see what I'm saying? And then ultimately, if God wants it to happen, the mark of the beast is going to happen, and you ain't going to get nothing no more. That's what he wants to do. He want to box you totally out. He don't want to give you nothing. But right now, he already got you on the technicality of sin. That's how he boxed you out right now. Right? He know you slipping. See, that's part of the great falling away from the faith in America, is that you have connected to a system that has gay and lesbian marriage, and God gave you a grace period. I'm telling you as a prophet, God gave you a grace period to know what's around you. You got to watch as well as pray. Christians are so dull in their hearing, they're almost like special needs. Many of them, I'm just being real with you in America. Many Christians are like in America, it's almost like special need, bro. Because you don't pay attention to everything that's going on around you. You act like you don't comprehend what's going on around you. Okay, so then it's gay and lesbian marriage in the whole country. Okay? You've been hearing about it. But now it's the whole country. That's different. That's different from hearing about it. And the devil has begun to box you out. You see? That's why the devil hates me, buddy. I fight his kingdom for real. I separate from unrighteousness for real. And see, a clown gonna think you're not perfect. Listen, I'm never gonna be perfect. It's no way I can be perfect. You're talking about something that's not possible. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it like that. But I do follow after righteousness. I do know the way I need to go to get to heaven. You don't. I know the way I need to go. Y'all ain't gonna make it. See, you thought it was gonna be easy. This is the falling away from the faith. This is part of it. It's not limited to, but it's part of the falling away from the faith. Because God gave a grace period for y'all to look around and see that they marrying gay people. And I told you that if you vote while Donald Trump is in office, it's a sin to you. It's a sin. It's a sin. And see how that sin keeps going, even though you're in a daily state of repenting, how the sin keeps going is because you have other corresponding actions to the voting that keeps you in the sin. You keep supporting them. That's what keeps you in the sin and falling away. Now you're falling away because after the vote, you're going to support these people. And that's going to keep you in sin. I explained to you, even when people vote, they're not going to be the same. I'm telling you, you thought I was playing. A lot of Christians, man, you got to beware. As soon as they say they voted, it's over. I don't support. Nah. Because I know you have fallen away from the faith by voting in America. It's so bad that you're falling away from the faith by voting in America. You get it now, right? You can't do this any other way. It's sad. Many people think they can try to help America. No, you can't. Okay? It's you know, if you're simple-minded, you'll think I'm hating gay people and hating lesbians. I'm not losing no sleep thinking about them. I'm talking about you. I ain't talking about them, I'm talking about you. If you're a righteous man or a righteous woman, you can't go 10 years without acknowledging this and think you ain't a sin, because after a while it's gonna be counted to sin to you. I believe that God gave a grace period, understanding his people here, where they are in their own controlled environment, where y'all Christians, real Christians that abstain from the culture and the community, right? Now, it's one thing to go look into it. It's one thing to go look into the culture, right? It's one thing to go look into some things. But it's another thing to be fully indulgent in the culture. And you know, many of you are not going to do that. So you know what the devil gonna do? He gonna get you on another technicality. He gonna get you on another technicality. That's all. That's how he works. You don't know how the devil works, is he? That's his most finest chess move right there, buddy. Because you know why? We no longer can have nothing to do with this country. That's his finest chess move, and he knows it. He knows the righteous like me. I'm not gonna vote no more. It don't matter what you say. It don't matter what you do. It's what it is, man. You know, he did what he did. America accepted it. We boxed out of it. We can't have nothing to do with it no more. We can't have nothing to do with it. I have to accept it. What is his moves? I can't say, well, I'ma still pray and I'ma still be with America. I can't. No, I can't. If men use their free will to go out here and make these laws and everything, and America joined them and everything, and they did what it took to make these laws active, then I have to walk away. You know, now I believe God gave a grace period because he knows his people, but after 10 years, bro. 10 years was last year, 2015 to 2025. Nah, that grace period is over, buddy. 10 years you don't know gay marriage in the whole country. 10 years? And my thing is this. These preachers is the one that should have been informing the country. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. But see, they so used to being censored that when the devil made this chess move, he knew they wasn't gonna say nothing about it. Oh, they ain't gonna say nothing about it. No. We got them censored real good. They ain't gonna get it's cancel culture is in full effect. They ain't gonna say nothing about this stuff to their congregation. And that's why we remained ignorant. I didn't even know. And then when I came back to serving God from backsliding, right? When I came back, I started fasting and seeking the Lord. And then God began to show me everything. I didn't even know. I ain't know either. I was just like you. It's like blinders on everybody. And I started fasting. That's why I can't preach fasting no more than I can. I can't preach it enough. When you fast, you are going to see what you need to do on your own. I am confident that you're going to see it on your own. That's how you know I ain't trying to deceive you. Fast. Go ahead and fast. Start fasting. This is why the devil is against it. Start fasting, and you're going to see on your own that what you need to do, not just this one thing, all stuff in your life too. People in your life that don't supposed to be in your life, God gonna get rid of all of that. He gonna show you, nah, that person ain't no good. That person ain't loyal to you. That person ain't loyal to me. They playing games. They still smoking. They still doing. It's been too long. They've been smoking a million years. You know what I mean? When they gonna stop smoking? When they gonna stop drinking excessively? When they gonna stop smoking weed and having sex and saying they're a Christian? Okay, so when does it stop? A righteous man gonna get back up. The Bible says a righteous man falls 7 times and rise up again. Okay, so we got to remember that why people call you a hypocrite or whatever. The Bible leaves room for a just man to fall 7 times. Right or wrong? Okay, so you don't make the rules. That's the rules. A just man falls 7 times. But here's the point. Here's the thing. He gets back up. He doesn't stay down. He does not stay down. When you see people that stay down after they fall, you gotta question it, man. You gotta question their love for God, man, because you can't stay down too long, man. Not too long, man. You gotta come back, because you got a righteous root inside your soul. That righteous root is gonna bring you back to Jesus Christ the Messiah. It's gonna bring you back. If you see somebody that don't come back, man, something not right with their soul, bro, and you gotta move on. Now, if I see you still doing the same thing, man, listen, man, I try to explain it in so many ways, man. You know, you might be dealing with witchcraft, with people trying to keep you smoking, people trying to keep you in sin, having sex. It could be any type of vice. And the witchcraft that's being done against you is why you keep smoking and you keep having sex or whatever it is. Even overeating, just eating to the point where you got diabetes or you got high blood pressure or something. That's a demonic spirit behind that. Ultimately, whether it's witchcraft or not. You have to realize this, man. This spiritual warfare is not like 2005. 21 years ago. This spiritual warfare the devil is playing for keeps. He making chess moves and he taking people's lives at the drop of a hat. That's why you gotta be on your P's and Q's. You can't act like you gonna box it out with these people. That's why I believe in carrying weapons, man. You know what I'm saying? People think it's a game. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't aware of your surroundings in 2026, you'll be going. I don't care what it means out there. I don't care what that means. All I know is it's against me, and I'm gonna be armed every time I step out here. That's it. That's all. I don't care what it means. I don't care what it means. That's how you gotta carry yourself. You don't sit up and try to figure it out. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna make my precaution. I'm gonna take my precaution like I'm supposed to. And it's not trying to be a gangster. It's not trying to be a thug or whatever, or a criminal. It's about. And see, that's where it get tricky for a black man. People don't halfway know what it is from you, because half of us come from the streets, or we got street principles and street mentality, or we come from a criminal mentality, and people don't not able to dissect your old mentality from your new mentality about carrying arms and protecting yourself. Because you're supposed to do that as a man anyway. That's real. You're supposed to do you're in the real world, you in America, you're supposed to, all these crazy people out here, yes, that's right. You're supposed to be listen, you see these people going up in churches and all of that, man, yeah, that's right. You listen, what else do you need to see? These people going up in churches, I definitely am getting a gun. I'm definitely getting a gun. People going up in churches, what else you need to see? What else you need to make you snap out of it? That's what I'm saying. Most of the churches have said, well, we need to get arms because America is going up in these churches. Now you see what I'm saying. I recommend that you get you a 380, something like that. That's a good fit. A 9 is good. 38 is good. Pistol 357 is good. A 40 cal is best as far as how I see it, as far as a pistol. Cause that's what the police would used to carry, them 40 cals. Yeah. That's right in the sweet spot, because it ain't a 45, and it's higher than a 9mm. You know what I'm saying? You get you a 40, get you a couple 40s, bro. I'm serious. That's one of the guns that's very overlooked, man. And even if you go online, you don't really see a lot of people shooting 40 cals. I don't know why. I just thought about it. But that's the caliber gun that the police carry. Most of them got them 40s on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, listen. I'll start out with a 380 or a 38. You know, but 40 cals is like probably what I'll be shooting for as far as a pistol. Cause it's gonna be straight to the point. I ain't gonna have to keep shooting this person. That's the point. The bigger the caliber is not, the bigger the caliber is so that I don't have to overkill and empty a whole clip. I don't have to empty a whole magazine shooting this person. I hit them a couple times, buddy. Listen, you gonna feel me. I hit you with that 40 a couple times. You gonna feel that, buddy. That's worse than a 9. A 9mm and a 40 that's not the same lane. You get a 40, man, they gonna feel you when they feel that, buddy. And I'm pretty sure they got hollow points for that too. Hollow points goes in and disintegrates, and it tears up flesh and everything. It tears up everything inside the body when it hits you. So the exit wound gonna be big. You know what I'm saying? With the I'm pretty sure. But when it goes in, the fragments just goes everywhere, haywire. That's the whole purpose of a hollow point. If you don't know, it fragments, if you will, and goes all into the body, everywhere, all around. And I'm pretty sure 40 cals probably got hollow points. I'm pretty sure that probably is the starting caliber of gun that has hollow points. Because nothing lower doesn't have hollow points. I don't think so. It's like a higher caliber bullet round, Yeah, and like I like to say, man, when you got a gun, it sobers the cowards up. Cause long as you got a gun, they gonna be willing to talk and they gonna be willing to negotiate. Long as they know you armed. You know what I'm saying? But if you ain't armed, people gonna play with you and play games. But if you get armed good enough and they know you're a threat with guns, people gonna say, well, we thought this about you and we didn't know for sure. But they weren't talking like that before you got a gun. They played until their heart was content. Now you got a gun, all of a sudden, now they want to talk about what you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna sober up. You're gonna sober up when that gun come out. Black people, that's the main thing. They gonna sober up when that gun come out, buddy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Go get some guns, some Dracos and all of that. See, that's another gun I want. A Draco, AK-47, clip, rounds. A Draco, they got two types from what I've seen so far. Maybe might be more now. But your Draco got the micro and the mini. I don't care which one for me. But obviously the micro is a little smaller than the mini. Maybe they got the original too, I guess. That would make sense. But I just thought it was a cool looking gun. And then I realized why everybody get them, because they got AK-47 bullets. The rounds. It's the caliber of the rounds. It's like a compressed AK-47. When you know AK-47 is kind of got a long nozzle on it and everything like that. This is more compressed. So it's like having a little compressed AK-47. It was a genius invention. Because the whole thing it's a compressed AK-47. That's why they even made a smaller size, I bet. You know, the micro Draco, it's AK-47. Small little compressed AK-47. High caliber bullets. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. It was a genius. That person probably made all kind of money already. Buku. Because a smart person, a marksman, is going to say, wow, I'm just getting it for the caliber of bullets. So I already know what kind of guns I want. I already know what I want. I already know what I want. As soon as you get guns, it sobers up the whole show. This whole show will be sobered up with guns. I'm telling you. Cause then now you're gonna realize the danger of the threat. It's gonna be, for black people, guns is the only thing that scare them. They get scared from guns. You get a gun, they'll get scared. That's how they are. But as long as you don't have a gun, man, people will play with you like it's a game, bro. They'll play with you like you are their children or something. You get a gun, well, we thought, now they out there talking to you. Well, we thought this, you don't even want to talk to them, do you? Well, we thought this about you. But why you just now saying it? Because I got a gun, that's why. You sobered up, that's why. See, the gun sobers the coward and the suckers up. Oh yeah. Get a gun. Watch they whole demeanor, watch they whole attitude change. Because they realize playing with you, you can easily shoot them at any given time. Any given time. And from that understanding, they're going to be way more sober in how they're approaching you. Even around where you live, you know what I'm saying? Living around you, they're going to be way more sober if they know you got a gun. That's black people. That's black culture. Then you get on another level, you know, with guns. With people with guns. See, that's the next level. Then they might have some lames play with you and they got guns too. And but then it comes down to who's the one who's the smartest, who is the one that can run and really maneuver and dance with the gun. The person that can dance with the gun is gonna win. If I can outdance you and maneuver you, it's over. I could just do something you wouldn't expect, just fall to the ground, pull out the gun. You ain't gonna know what's going on. Before you can adjust to it, I shot you already.
Before you can adjust to what I've done, you're already dead. See, it's all about maneuvering. When it comes to a gunfight, if you just square up with people, you're just sitting there as a target, just letting them give it all they got. It's not about being afraid. You have to maneuver. You have to learn to maneuver. You have to learn to dance with the gun. Okay? Yes, sir. You know, so like in my situation, man, people just played the clown position. You know what I'm saying? You thought I was a clown, somebody you could play with. And now you look like the clown to everybody. And that's basically it, man. It ain't nothing hard to understand. I'm just like anybody else from the streets. I'm just like any good black man, a good Christian. I'm just like all of those things I just said. You know, it's nothing hard to see here. They were just clowns, and they played with me, and they got what they bargained for. You know, it's that simple. But because I see so much gain in using spiritual weapons, why would I change now? That's where I have to practice discipline, because I'm doing so good spiritually. Why would I go and get arms? I mean, well, I put it like this. Why would I put that to the primary of my mindset in how I'm going to defend myself and how I'm going to maneuver out here? You know, like I like to say, you get it just in case the devil get through the cracks. Because some people can use their free will to do you harm. You know what I'm saying? And do I believe God will protect people? Yes, I do. But I think I know he gives us wisdom. He gives us wisdom to go ahead and arm yourself in the time that we live in. You in America. Wisdom should have been told you that. That part. All these people out here with guns and stuff, acting crazy and stuff, and all this stuff going on. You should have been thought about guns. But you're trying to be a nice guy. That's what I'm saying. It's this philosophy of trying to be this nice person. And I don't follow that philosophy. I don't care if people think I'm a nice guy or not. Am I nice? I don't know. I'm correct. I'm right. I'm right about what I'm, just like I'm right about what I'm talking about. Am I nice? I don't know. Depending on what your definition of nice is. I don't know if I'm nice. But do I care about that? No, I don't. I care about being right. I'm right about all of this stuff. You need to get armed? Yes, you do. And if I was a rapper, it couldn't be me. Millions of dollars, billions of dollars, man. I have the biggest arsenal you ever seen, bro. If I had billions of dollars, man, I have every gun you could think about. And I have multiple guns from that same brand of gun and model of gun. Man, I had like 100 Dracos. So you can have a little small little militia. Like, man, I had like 300, 400, 500 Dracos, 1,000 Dracos, 1,500 Dracos, something like that, you know what I mean? 2,000 Dracos, 10,000 Dracos. I mean, think about that. Man, listen, who could stop you? They can't tell you, oh, it's a limit. They can't say that. They can flag you and be alarmed because you got like 10,000 Dracos. but that's 100. Somebody try you, buddy. Listen, red alert. Everybody get armed with Dracos. It's absolutely over. It's absolutely over, buddy. You call in. All you need is men to be armed. All you need is men to come arm up the guns. That's all. That's how you gotta think, man. If you don't think like that, bro, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna be a casualty, man. You're gonna be a casualty, bro. I'm not saying necessarily you're gonna be killed physically, but if you don't adjust to the times you live in, and people don't think I put myself in this situation. I know what I'm doing. That's why I changed the whole community. Because as long as these people in this building in Brooklyn is attacking me, I'm taking that for God's kingdom. I'm taking it. I could have left long time as soon as my intuition told me what was going on. That's how you know I'm smart. Okay, I could have been left based on that, based on what I see and I know already. You know, and I see the same signs here. Okay, I could have left a long time ago, but I stayed in this position to get something done, and I'm getting that done now. It's getting done now. You see what I'm saying? That's why, like, I just trip off people, man, because you know, like, the only reason I ain't got all this stuff, man, is because I don't got no. Right now, I'm gonna get money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just leave it at that. But it's a matter of money. I put it like that. But if it wasn't for that, man, I would have all these guns. AK-47, SKS, choppers. You know what I'm saying? 12 gauges and all of that, man. Street sweepers, I even get that. See, a lot of people think they don't know what a street sweeper is. I get a street sweeper, elephant guns. That's. I thought elephant guns and 30-30s was the same thing. 30-30s and elephant guns is not the same thing. I thought that. I thought elephant gun was a slang for 30-30s. That's not the truth. I'm like, wow, okay. I always thought a 30-30 was an elephant gun. But basically a 30-30 is just like old school power. That's the best way I can sum it up. It's not gonna be savvy like anything I talked about now, just the Dracos and all of that stuff. A 30-30 is just like old school power that got respect, you know, in the past. So, you know, you gotta realize, you know, you're not gonna see a savvy gun. When I seen 30-30s, I was like, really? Wow. But it's power from the past. You know, that's how I got a reputation. You know, but hey, yeah, I'll still get a 30-30. You know, 30-30, street sweeper, elephant gun, I'll get that for a collection. When I ain't got nothing else to do, I get me an elephant gun, 30-30, street sweepers, all the stuff you heard about. You feel me? That ain't being corny. I'm gonna get all the stuff I heard about. 30-30, elephant gun, street sweepers. You know, that's a very misunderstood gun too. The street sweeper, Tommy guns. A street sweeper actually kind of look like a Tommy gun, but it's not. I don't think it. I definitely know it's not. I don't think it's the same. But Tommy guns too. You know, Tommy gun just got that look. That's why everybody like it. It's just that round clip, that round drum on it. So like, I grew up shooting guns when I was like 15. You know, and so I've just always had my mind since then. When I first became a Christian, I think I just put off the thought process of guns for a very long time. And once I seen how the world changed, I felt the need to get a gun. I felt it was wisdom. I think that's what it was. More than anything, I think it was the changes in the world. And so then I've just advanced my perspective on arms again, like from leaving off when I used to shoot guns as a kid, and I just built on now. I just built on what I know, you know. It's just a matter of money for me. If it like, and the thing about it, like, I would expect all these rappers to have all kind of guns. Like, man, like, you talked about guns so much. When you get rich, you should have guns. Not cars. Not you. I expect a rapper to have like 50 guns. Registered guns. But some of them are felons though, you know. I forget about that. Some of them are felons, but some of them are not. Some of them are not felons. If you are not a felon, let's just say, for example, if you living with somebody in the house that's not a felon, then why can't they get guns registered in their name? There you go. There you go. There you go, buddy. Somebody in the house ain't got no good, ain't got no felons. Oh, okay, that's like the phone bill. How people used to do in the ghetto, put the phone bill in somebody else's name. We putting them guns in your name. yeah, that part. You got a female that ain't got no charges. Okay, baby, we gonna put these guns in your name. Anybody trip, I'm gonna teach you how to shoot these guns too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that part, bro. Because when the war pop off, if this war pop off like we think it is, and it's just total chaos, at that point, those registered guns, this is what street people need to understand. Those registered guns are just guns now. Fresh guns. They shoot just like any other gun shoots. And you got all these registered guns and now it's a time of chaos, and you got a whole bunch of guns. And it don't matter if they're registered or not, because now we're in chaos in the world and nobody's checking for it. That's why you stockpile registered guns right now. Okay? Because if this hits the fan and this country goes into chaos, you're gonna have a whole bunch of guns. That's how you gotta think. When this all ends, and we go to war, I have a whole bunch of guns. They ain't no police gonna be gone. It's gonna be anarchy. So who gonna check for your gun and all in chaos and everywhere? See, this is the full prophet in the last days in America. This is how you're supposed to be built, buddy. You supposed to be, that part. You supposed to be built like this. You willing to get guns, you ain't playing no games. It's just simple as that, man. It's just as simple as that. That's the only thing human beings understand in this country is a threat. That's the only reason I get my respect. Because obviously they wasn't respecting me before, so how I get it now? Not because I earned it, because you perceived a threat. I earn respect now. Fasting and everything for a whole week. Today makes a whole week. And you see me talking politics, everything. Some people couldn't even believe that you can fast for 7 days and live. They think you would die. I wouldn't die. I done went on 7-day fast, 14-day fast, 21 days. I done fasted for 21 days. 3 weeks. Military respect that. Man, you fasted for 3 weeks. That's why I'm way more spiritual than you realize, man. That's when I listen, I can't stress that enough. You did a Daniel fast 21 days, but you eat a water fast though? Yeah. See, most Christians talk about, they stick with 3 days, they don't do a week. They feel like that's extreme. Nah. That's how you got to get your anointing on your life. You got to fast for over a week. When I start fasting, I've been fasting for over a week for 5 years. This will be 6 years. That my whole life. Before that, I was just doing, like I always do, multiple fasting. So that's how I still stayed in the game, because I fasted so often. It just made up for not doing big fasts. You know what I'm saying? I fast so much, so often, it made up for it. I was still growing, getting the anointing because I fasted so often, right? But these days, man, I've become stronger than the past. I came back into my Christian walk hardcore. I didn't stay on them little levels I was on In the past, I came back fasting for like 7 days. That's like 5 years ago, half a decade ago. You see what I'm saying? So I've been on this level for like 5 years. And this is just a whole nother level of information, revelation knowledge, God informing you on what to do, Him moving you a certain way. It's a whole nother level of all those things, you know. And it's no shortcuts, man, because in arrogant religious mentality, people think they got the same thing you got, but they ain't paid the price. It don't work like that in God's economy, bro. You can't possibly have the same thing I have, but you're not paying the price I'm paying. That's arrogance in your mind. That's the truth. You going you're going by what your family told you was spiritually. That's what got you amped up. That's what got that S on your chest. But you're not paying the price. It's no real evidence of it. You have to work for this. Anything worth having is worth it takes hard work. It's gonna be worth working for, and you're gonna have to work for it. And this is no different. You should have knew. Ain't no way you're gonna have spiritual power for free. I'm not saying it's too good to be true, because God gives us a lot of promises and things that we didn't really earn per se, but you should have knew you was gonna have to do some work. Come on. And the work you gotta do is getting it in with this fasting. You gotta do this. You got to. If you think because your mama told you you was super spiritual, or your mom told you you got these high anointing gifts, or your dad or your uncle or your aunt said you were this spiritual person, and you think that's all, and you going by this folklore for all your life, and you think that's sufficient, you tripping. I call it out just like it is. A lot of these American Christians, bro, you going by folklore in your family about on how spiritual you are. Your family told you were so spiritual. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, man, all of us have spirituality because we're all spirits. So we all have spirituality. Let's understand that. Every human being has a certain level of spirituality. Okay? You're not going to build on that without fasting. And so if you put yourself up against me, people like that, and you think because off the strength of what your mom and them, daddy and them told you, you're gonna be on my level, but you ain't put in no 7-day fasting. And you gonna say my heart is a heart of a man, a warrior, and you're just used to that weak cupcake Christianity in America. That's all it is. So you might say it's all in vain, but how is it in vain? You fasting for a whole week. You tripping. It's never in vain, man. I always get results. Every time I fast, I get results. But if you think you're going to get it on my level without fasting, buddy, listen, that's just like a boxer, athlete, or anybody. Ain't no way in the world you finna be operating on my level without working for it. You got to do stuff, man. You got to do stuff. And see, that right there separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls. You ain't willing to do nothing. You ain't willing to fast. You making a whole bunch of excuses. And the truth is, you can make all the excuses in the world, but you ain't gonna be empowered. You ain't gonna be anointed. You ain't gonna have spiritual power unless you start fasting. I'm telling you what I know. You can be a good-hearted person. You can love everybody. That's not gonna give you an anointing because you got love for people. Okay? Let's get it understood. Love is not gonna do it. You ain't gonna be some highly spiritual person because you got love in your heart for others. That's like trying to make an excuse or making one make up for the other. You ain't gonna be able to make up for not fasting by being some lovey-dovey person. It's not gonna work. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, you gotta pay the price just like everybody else. You want a paycheck, you gotta go work. That's common sense. And this economy is no different. You want a paycheck, you gotta go work, buddy. And it's that simple. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fast, and this is what we do. We don't do rituals like witchcraft people or nothing like that. We come over here and we fast, right? A witch ain't gonna have this kind of discipline that we got on an average basis. They ain't gonna have it. We doing something they can't do. No, they can't, man. They ain't gonna fast for no 7 days and 14, 21 days. 21 days without eating. A witch ain't gonna do that. That's why they do not compare to somebody like me. Cause I know I'm doing something that you don't do. And that's all I'm looking at. I don't care nothing about what you're talking about, because half of that is fabricated anyway. It's fabricated and exaggerated, like I like to put. Just saying you're a witch don't mean, for a spiritual person like me, don't mean you got no power. You ain't gonna fool nobody like me like that. Now these religious people will put you all up there like you got something going on, but I know you ain't got no manifestations. I know you can't manifest nothing. Yeah. We fasted over here for a whole week. You listen. Spiritual power comes out of it every time. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. So we let nobody come over here and act like they ride they OGs over here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying. And they ain't fasting on an OG level. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be fasting for like a week or better, man, to be on these levels that I'm on. And I don't care how you manipulate. I don't care what you thinking about. I don't care how good you talk and how good you preach. You only gonna be on these spiritual levels if you put the work in. That's how it goes. That's a reward. Think about God rewarding me and you the same. But I'm fasting for a week over here, but you ain't gotta do nothing. Man, you tripping, man. You been listening to these American preachers, bro. Not consistently. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work consistently. That you got this high, powerful anointing, but you don't fast at all. Nah. It ain't gonna manifest nothing out here. That's what we talking about. We talking about manifestations. You ain't gonna manifest. Okay? This is where the rubber meets the road. Is it easy? But here I am at the end of the fast. See, that's why I talk about it. I don't boast. God knows where my heart is. My heart is not saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. My heart is, ultimately, man, the best thing I would want is for you to do the same thing. That's how you know I ain't no cultic person. A cultic person don't want you to do the same thing. They want to remain in this special place that, like, they can only do it. They can only do these things. I'm not like that. I wish that I hope for people to do the same thing, but many will not, man. Many will not. As I realize, they'll go out here and have a loving heart and all of this stuff. But it's because of their teachers. That's the main problem. If they teachers kept drilling it in America, they will be fasting. I'm telling you, on a whole nother level, like 7 days, everything like that. But because of their teachers, the teachers just talk about love and just being a kind, good person. Like, you know, but they don't tell you how to grow spiritual power. How you grow spiritual power? If you ask me, I could tell you. I know what to do, but you can't cut no corners. You can't act like you're gonna be a nice, cool person and you're gonna get some nah. It don't. God, Jesus Christ said himself, some spirits come out by nothing but fasting and prayer. Jesus said it. Jesus spoke the words fasting. That's what I want you to think about. He said it out his mouth. The precious mouth of the Lord. Jesus said, these spirits don't come out By nothing but fasting and prayer. Prayer and fasting. Okay, so if Jesus said it out his mouth, how you gonna act like you can do it every once in a while? See what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Because the truth is, man, people, I'm not being judgmental. But a lot of these preachers got weight on them and all, you know what I'm saying? They're getting dishes. Think about a preacher. A preacher's getting food cooked for him from all the congregation. Now that's real. The whole congregation, he gonna find people that can cook. And hey, think about it. You get a congregation going, you gonna find the person that can cook. You know what I mean? You gonna know the person that can cook. And that person is gonna be giving you all kind of dishes all the time. Macaroni and cheese on the house. Oh man. You're gonna be eating good. But you ain't gonna be living no lifestyle of fasting. And that's why you look at them preachers, a lot of them got weight on them. You know why? I'm tell you why, man. They eating good. They eating from the congregation. The Sister Tina cooked all kind of stuff. Collard greens, cornbread, chicken, all that stuff. Pinto beans. Black-eyed peas, butter beans. You want butter beans? She got that. Butter beans and biscuits. She got the butter beans and biscuits. See, listen, you ain't from the South if you don't eat no butter. You ain't ate no butter beans. Them butter beans official. Butter beans with the onions in it. Put some fresh onions in it. Man. Butter beans, biscuits, homemade biscuits with butter beans. That's all you gotta have. That's the meal right there. You don't gotta eat nothing else. Cause it got like a thick soup on it. You eat a nice size of that, bro. Listen, you won't want nothing else. I promise you. You can put some pork chop with it. Pork chop's pretty good with it. I don't eat pork anymore, but pork chop and butter beans is a good combination. I wouldn't try steak. Chicken too. Anything fried would be good with it. But pork chops and butter beans is good together with the biscuits. Man, you don't need no other sides. You don't need no other. Butter beans is like how do I put this? It's not like a side. You can't have a little cup of butter beans. It don't make sense. When you're in the South, you eat a whole plate of them, like it's a meal. Now, for black-eyed peas and pinto beans, that's different. Butter beans are bigger and they got a thicker soup on it. That's what I'm saying. It's like a thicker gravy on it. You can eat that as a whole meal, and that's it. That's all you want with with some about 2-3 biscuits. 4 biscuits or so. Maybe 4. You definitely be full. Cause when you eat them biscuits with the butter beans, you're gonna be done, buddy. You're gonna be good. So I'm a foodie. That's what people don't know about me. I don't have eating disorder. I'm from North Carolina, as you can see. I know how to cook. I can burn. I can cook real good, real good. I've impressed many people that I've been around with my cooking. My woman, I was down south this time last year. I cooked everything. Pork chops, country fried steak, mac and cheese. Where my mac and cheese, I put a little bit of sugar. That's what a lot of black people don't do in soul food. They go to just the salty side with macaroni and cheese, and then it's already salty because of the cheese itself. It's gonna be already kind of salty with the creamy cheese and all of that. If you put just a little bit of sugar, and a little bit of pepper, I took my cooking game to the next level, man. I started putting a little bit of sugar in my mac and cheese. It make that cheese taste kind of a little sweet a little bit. Man, I'm telling you, man. Put a little bit of put some pepper in there. And some salt, of course. Put some salt in there. Just a little more. Man. You know what I mean? Burgers. Best way to cook burgers, I'm telling you, to keep the juice, is in the oven. Burgers in the oven are better. Cause it keeps all the juiciness. You cook thick burgers with onions in them. I put onions in my burgers. Man. See, I learned that from my cousin. Man, he made the best burgers. And he always put onions in the burgers. You know what I mean? You eat the onions with the onions cooking in them and everything. So I'm a foodie. I like food, but I like spiritual results. That's just what it is. If you're wondering why, I don't. Is it psychological? No. I like spiritual results more than food. Well, maybe I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. I like spiritual results more than food. That's how you know you're on the next level, man. I mean, you know, I like food. I'm a foodie, and I can cook very, very good. Do I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna eat all my life because I like food and I can cook good. If I'm a spiritual person, I'm gonna have to ignore that, to be honest. I'm gonna have to ignore how good I can cook. Which obviously means I can cook good for myself. Obviously. I gotta ignore all of that and I gotta say, you know what? I need real spiritual results, man. You know what I'm saying? I need something done. You know, I need some real spiritual power. And the only way you're gonna get that, it's no shortcuts. I don't care what nobody say, because people are deceived by these people that talk about they got anointing and they ain't never went on a 7-day fast in their life. Jesus went on a 40-day fast. What that tell you? Jesus did it. He had to do. Look at that. That's Jesus. How many more examples I gotta show you? Jesus went on a 40-day fast. Moses, a 40-day fast. Now you see what I'm saying? How you think you anointed and you've been fasting for 2-3 days all your life? Because American Christians made you feel that way. That's what it was. You got to go to the next level, man. If you don't go to the next level, I'm telling you, man, you're going to be sitting up here arrogant, thinking you got an anointing that you don't have, man. I'm telling you. That's what it is. And then here's the other thing. You ain't going to see things as I described it to you with all this stuff going on in the government and all this stuff. You ain't gonna see it until you start fasting on another level. When you start fasting on another level, God gonna pull you out. Your spirituality is gonna push you out, and you're gonna see everything as it is. You're gonna see it all. You're gonna be like, oh man, now you don't need you don't need a preacher to always tell you something. You know what I'm saying? I believe strongly in having your own walk with God to where you don't need no preacher to tell you something all the time. You know what I'm saying? You start fasting for yourself. You don't need me. You don't need nobody. You start seeing it for yourself. But the reason why you don't see it is because you fast on a low level. That's what it is. It's no shortcuts, man. We pay prices over here. We pay real prices. And ain't no way in the world we gonna be compared to people that just got some love, walking around with lovey-dovey feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's all good and fine and dandy, but it ain't gonna make up for fasting. I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna make up for fasting. If that's what you're insinuating, buddy. Well, we got more love than this person. Okay, you can think that. You can think all of that all you want to, being completely ignorant to this situation, which these people oppose me and attack me, called Americans. You could, yeah, glory to God. You could be totally ignorant to that and play yourself, and that's all you're gonna do. And you should be careful when you put your mouth on me too, and that too, because I'm always fasting. And yeah, be careful. Be careful with that. Even if you're a Christian, be careful with that. Be careful with that, buddy, because I'm always in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that's arrogant enough to think they Christians and they full of love and all of this, and they think they got the heart, they think they got the authority to put their mouth on you. Okay, if you don't know what you're doing and you talk out of pocket on me, and you didn't know all these situations, you just like the world. You just like them. They played with me and they didn't know what they was playing with. You're gonna be the same thing. You playing with me and you don't know what you're playing with. You know what I'm saying? Like some people take it to the extreme, bro. Like, I mean, I respect people as men and women. As a prophet, I don't just walk up on people and think I got the right to just examine you and look you up and down and try to find some kind of flaw in you or something like that. That ain't the right spirit. You want to talk about the right spirit? That's not the right spirit. Walking up on somebody trying to look him up and down and everything. That's why people don't go to church. Now, who want to be around somebody looking you up and down, waiting for you to make a mistake or some kind of flaw in you or something like that? Who want to go to that kind of church? You know? That's all I'm saying, bro. It's a lot of people, man, that just don't know what they doing. You know what I'm saying? I know the way. You know what I'm saying? I can show you how to get spiritual results, but you gotta do everything the way I'm telling you to do it. And you gotta pay a price. And if you're not willing to pay that price, because one of the fruit of the Spirit is long suffering, and you're gonna have to apply that while you're fasting. Think about it. Long suffering. You fasted for a long time, right? Okay, you're going to have to apply the fruit of long suffering. And I promise you, man, all you're going to find is people making excuses with love and talking about love and all of that and everything and all of that, man. And the bottom line is, I'm going to be here more spiritual than you if you ain't fasting. And I don't care what you're talking about the love and all the other stuff you're talking about. If you're not getting it in, like I'm getting it in, listen, you can love all day long. You can love people all day long. You're not going to be more anointed. I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. And that's what people insinuate low key, especially if they know I'm in a war. I mean, that's the mistake. I'm waiting for you to make that mistake. Where you think, because I'm talking about war and I'm talking about these enemies, that even though I fast, you more loving than me. You got more love in your heart than me. Well, I'm basically in a different season than you, and I'm smart enough to know that. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to politics like David about what's going on. But if you think that you got more love than me and all of this and all of that, man, these people in America, man, have made mistakes playing with me, gang stalking, man. So I'm in the real world concerning this situation, you know, and maybe you're not. You know, so I'm approaching it with a common sense approach while you're talking about love. And you see what I'm saying? You see how that is? It's not connected to the real reality of things a lot of times. Just loving people all the time, you know, you're not connected to the real reality of situations. That's one thing, that's why you know I'm in my right mind, because a crazy person can't adjust to no situation. You notice that? They can't adjust. They don't adjust. They remain the same in mental sickness. A person that's in their right mind adjusts to every single situation, and that's what I do. I don't care what it is. I adjust to every situation. So, man, you know, In my situation, I have to go into spiritual war against people that were consistently bringing witchcraft and gang stalking into my life, and they think it's a game, like they chasing me around to play with me. What you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go into spiritual war, and that's what it is. Now you see what I'm saying? I'm a spiritual warrior, a real one. You know, and some people say that, man, but they're not real spiritual warriors, bro. You know, and then you do have real spiritual warriors. I'm one of them. And, you know, so it's no way around this. It's just no way around it. It's just no way around it. This is how you gotta be. This is how you gotta be built. This is how you gotta be built. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay prices. You go to the military, you think you're gonna just be a general, a 5-star, a 4-star general, just you know, merely joining the military, and you think you're gonna be a 4-star general. It's not gonna happen. You have to pay prices. Anybody that goes into any vocation or do anything and becomes successful will tell you the price that they pay is just common sense. This is no different. The spirituality is no different. It's no way in the world you're gonna just get all this spiritual power, bro. Nah, I'm a prophet. Okay, I can say off the strength of that, I have this, I can do that, and that's what a lot of prophets make a mistake and do. Okay, but you have to pay prices. You have to consistently pay prices. I can't talk about how I used to fast 20 years ago, which I used to. I was fasting 20 years ago. 2005, 2006. Yeah. I was fasting back in 2006. That's right. I can honestly say that. I can say that year, 2006, I was fasting. That's 20 years ago. But I can't hang on to that like that's going to make up for what you know what I'm saying? Nah, it don't work like that, buddy. And then you just got to ask yourself, with all the fasting that you have done thus far, did it produce the anointing? And if it did not, you're still on the journey, whether you realize it or not, of fasting enough to get the real anointing. If you don't do that, man, listen, you're just an arrogant American talking about you anointed, but you can't manifest anything. You can't get nothing done. This is how it's done, I'm telling you. This is how it gets done. And you can make excuses. You can sit up here and I'm too aware of what it takes. I'm telling you. You can say whatever you want. You can dress it up. Say somebody laid hands on you and you became this powerful person. You can say somebody prophesied over your mom while she was pregnant with you, and that you will be this powerful. You can say all this stuff. And if you do not fast, when we know Jesus fasted, you playing yourself. You playing yourself. You're not playing me. Jesus had to fast. Okay? Moses fasted. Had to fast. So how you think you're going to take a shortcut? When Jesus had to do it and Moses had to do it, you playing yourself, buddy. It's no way around it. It's the price you have to pay if you want real spiritual power. And then it makes sense to me, if you've been fasting for over a week, oh, you're gonna have some spiritual power coming out of that. But you ain't gonna have it just fasting a day here, a day there, a couple days here and there. Nah, sorry, buddy. You look at this like a toolkit. This is not a toolkit. Well, I fast a couple days here and there. This is my little spiritual toolkit. Your little spiritual toolkit ain't gonna have no anointing. So if you wondering how I got where I got, it's because, man, I fasted so much. You just don't know, man. You just don't know. All type of fastings. This is the only way it happens. I'm telling you, man. And my biblical basis on that is Jesus Christ the Messiah. He fasted for 40 days, okay? So then who are you where you think you don't have to fast? You tripping. Think about it. They tripping, man. I'm not saying you might have to do a 40-day fast, but at least you doing a decent pace of fasting for it to be 40 days pretty soon. Yeah, it's gonna be 40 days pretty soon because you're doing so much fasting at a small amount of time. Glory to God. Like, since I've been here in Brooklyn, I've done this is gonna be 55 days. 55 days of fasting since I've been here. I've been here November, December, January, February. This is going on 4 months. And I've done 50 days. 55 days. Today is going to be 55 days. That's what I'm talking about. With time, I did over 40 days with time. With time, I see, when you fasting frequently, you're going to get into 40 days. Make sense? No. That's one of the best things I said on this video. When you fast frequently, you're going to get to that 40-day mark frequently, over and over again. You see, it's no way around this. And if you think it is, I'm gonna show you Jesus every time. Every time you think it's an easy way, I'm gonna show you Jesus every time. And it don't matter what you talk about, how much love you got in your heart, and all of this stuff like that, and how much fruit of the Spirit you got, and all of that, you still gonna have to fast. It's just no way around this. And see, that's the price that people don't want to pay. That's why you never really even embarked on your spiritual journey. Now imagine a rapper talking about he got Jesus. Now you see how it sounds. Ain't fasting a day in their life, ain't doing no fasting and all of that, man. And that's why many of them just back over there in the world. They talked about God, but you know what? You know why they didn't really give their life to God? Because they didn't fast. They were not taught properly what to do. When you come to Jesus Christ the Messiah, you have to fast. Okay? If you don't do it, them strongholds, whatever vices you had is going to overtake you again. You're going to be back smoking. You're going to be back drinking excessively. You're going to be back fornicating if you're not married. You're going to be back doing everything that people do. That's what you're going to be doing. That's what you're going to be doing. That's why some people came to God, but it didn't last. You know why? Because you didn't fast. That's why. Okay, this is the key. This is how it is. We don't got a lot of things that we do, but fasting is a lifestyle. And as you can imagine, it takes so much strength and effort. That's all you got to do. You don't got to do no rituals like a witch. This is enough right here. Yeah, that part. Fasted for over 7 days. Well, I don't think I need to do anything else. Not eating for 14 days. I don't think I need to do anything else. Do you think you need to do something else? And see, if your enemies trivialize this like my enemies do, like it don't mean nothing, buddy, listen, you're going to find out the hard way, buddy. This is going to be your demise. Playing around a man that fasts, listen, buddy, listen, you playing with death on a stick, buddy. You playing with death on a stick. One thing I tell people, if you play with a man that's fasting, or a woman that's fasting, you are a fool, buddy. Listen, you could die from playing with somebody. You can't attack somebody while they seeking God and they spending time with God. No. That's a retarded spirit that think they can attack you Cause this is good and evil. I mean, I don't care what you talking about. I don't care. That's another thing. This misperception that me and you can go back and forth. You tripping. You tripping, buddy. You about to get washed up. You about to get washed up real good. Ain't no way in the world you can attack me and I'm fasting for over 5-7 days, but you just can play with me from step to step, from hour to hour. You tripping, bro. You playing with death on the stick, buddy. You playing with death on the stick. They don't know no better. This is rules. You attack somebody while they fasting, listen, I already know you're gonna get it. I already know it's coming. I already know it's coming. God ain't gonna let that be unchallenged. No, he gonna slide on you. He definitely gonna slide on you, buddy. You ain't getting away with nothing. If he see a servant that's fasted for 7 days, and you just playing around this person like he a punk, which he got more strength and heart than you do, obviously, because of the fasting. The fasting, a real man a boy can't fast, buddy. Oh, it takes strength, trust me. Yeah, you ain't gonna, I make it look easy, because I do it so often, but you ain't gonna just waltz into a 7-day fast and you fast for a whole week like it ain't, like I do. I do it like a champ now, because I am a champion, but most people can't. One person said they thought that you would die from fasting for 7 days. No, man, something happened to you. No, you won't. I done fasted for 14 days, 21 days. I done did 3 times hard than 7 days. No food, and on that fast, no vitamins, nothing. That's what I'm trying to show you. Now, you think you're going to play with somebody that's been fasting for 21 days? Boy, you must be smoking crack. You must be smoking crack, buddy. That's what I'm saying. It's death on the stick. Because God going to consider that. He going to look at that. Look at my servant seeking me for fasting for weeks and weeks and weeks. Yes, he going to look at that. Retarded, bro. Retarded, man. See, you thought the concept of good and evil, like a cartoon, like some stuff you seen in an American cartoon, where where me and you gonna fight because it's good and evil. I'm good and you evil, bro. You tripping? Where in history you think you can fight a Christian like me? A prophet? Huh? Show me an example of that in history. Show me a consistent example. You can't play with people like me, man. And we will wash you up. We will wash your family up, bro. Surfs up. Washing your board up, washing you up, everything, buddy. You can't play no good and evil. Like, that's some corny white boy stuff in America, man. Good and evil, like it's good and evil. You can't play that good and evil game with me, buddy. That's that white boy, American white boy stuff, man. That's where you learn. Ultimately, that's where you got it from. Go ask these Africans, man. Somebody been fasting for over a week. You gonna try to use witchcraft on that person. They're gonna say, no, you're a fool, boy. I promise you. Does that person do that consistently? You're in trouble. You can't. He's too consistent with that level of fasting. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna be able to hang on. Not too much longer. You could try. You could try. Go talk to him. That's how confident I am. Go talk to somebody who knows about spirituality and tell them I'm the type of person that fasts for 3 weeks at a time. I done fasted for 21 days for real. With no snacks, no nothing. No vitamin water, no type of you know what I'm saying, no type of shakes, nutrition shakes or nothing, none of that. Not for 21 days at all. Not at all. And God knows that. God knows. Nothing touched my mouth for 21 days. You think you're gonna come play with a person like that? You think you can play with somebody like that? You done lost your mind, bro. You done lost your mind out here. You lost your mind out here, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's really the truth, man. You just represent the sign of the times, man. How people done lost their mind when they think they can play with a Christian that's been fasting for over 21 days and for 3 weeks. That kind of level of power will wash you up, bro. That's why this country is going through what it's going through. I know why. Because I done went to the next level in my spirituality, man. And if you think you can play with somebody that's been fasting for weeks and weeks at a time, buddy, listen, no food for weeks, literally, military don't even do this. For civilians that don't know, when military like Green Beret, Navy SEALs, they don't even train to go without food but a couple days at best, 48 hours at best, because they don't know what will happen to these soldiers if they go without eating and then they have to still be physical. They might fall out. So even Green Beret, military, Navy SEALs, all the tough guys in the military, they're not even trained like this. So they would respect me over you. They ain't gonna respect no witchcraft. They gonna respect a man that does something physical. Oh, you went without food for 3 weeks? Wow. Military gonna respect that. Wow, that's amazing. 3 weeks? Literally? You didn't run around, you didn't lose your mind, you was in like one room or something like that for 3 weeks? And you wasn't even going nowhere. So you wasn't like where the days were going by fast. You had to be in this one room for 3 weeks with no food. That's what I'm saying, bro. Military will even respect that. Not because of the endurance that you have to do it. That's why, if not for anything else. Now, show me where military will respect the spirituality of witchcraft. Really, truly respect it. They're not gonna respect it. See, when you God's people, you're gonna get respect from everybody, man. There's so many forms of fashion, man. They might not even believe in God. But man, you've been fasting for 21 days? You fasted for a week, like just now? And came off on Super Bowl Sunday? You ain't even know it was Super Bowl Sunday? I ain't even know. I don't keep up with that stuff no more. That's how you know I ain't in the culture. I just found out. And then when I looked into it, I don't keep up. I didn't watch none of the whole season. I don't even watch the seasons of football no more. You know what I mean? I ain't like, and you fasted for 7 days and came off on Super Bowl Sunday without even realizing it. Think about that, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's why, like, you know, some people are just clowns, man. That's just what it is, man. You know, I can't make you think properly. You a clown. You know what I'm saying? If you sit up and think that's a game and think it's something, think about what I'm saying. That's a clown community out there. You know, that's what it is, man. And it's not getting no acknowledgement, man. We gonna wash them up, man. I'm telling you right now. We gonna wash them up. I done sent money to Vietnam. That's gonna hit soon. Yeah, I done sent money to Vietnam. I'm not playing. A Christian church in Vietnam. You think I'm playing, bro? Listen, I done sent money to a church in Vietnam, buddy. Listen, you out your league playing with me all together. I don't care what you talk about. I don't care what you try to even attempt to do. I done sent money to Vietnam. That's gonna, and by the way, that's gonna come back as spirituality. Oh, what you thought? Money, I get a little money. Listen, buddy, that's gonna come back as spirituality. Me sending money to Vietnam. Oh, guess how much I sent to Vietnam? Like $49,000. It might be like maybe 48 to 47 with the fees, little fees they might have that they take out for the international transaction. It's already done. It's already done. They might get like maybe like no less than $45,000. I'm making big transactions, buddy, to Vietnam. Okay. That's a whole nother lane, man. Americans gonna respect that. Wow, this dude is giving to it. Now, it's one thing to give a church offering over here, but this dude is working spirituality and giving a church offering to Vietnam. That's Vietnam, buddy. Vietnam, the country. That's not no game for you to play with, buddy. And then he fasted for 7 days and then giving an offering to Vietnam, bro. Listen, I will be paying attention to what the person actually is doing. I mean, you know, call me stupid. Call me more than alert. Call me more than alert, but call me paranoid, but I will be paying attention to what the person is actually doing. He's sending offers out there. He's sending offers out there to Vietnam. That ain't a game, bruh. The Philippines and Cambodia. 3 countries out there. Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. You think that's a game? Man, listen, that's a person that it's not about being intimidated. Sometimes it's just reality. Like if you got a military that's strong, listen, buddy, you can be confident as you want to be. You can have all the confidence of Rambo, G.I. Joe, all in one, rolled up in one, buddy. You can be G.I. Joe and Rambo rolled up in one. And if I'm out here giving offerings to Vietnam, Cambodia, and in the Philippines, and I'm fasting for 7 days with that, you in trouble. You can't oppose me, buddy. You tripping. That's why I try to tell these people. That's how you know I ain't a villain. Because I express too much to be a villain. A villain ain't gonna express none of this. A villain gonna just smirk at you and be doing all that I talked about. Giving offers to Vietnam, you know what I'm saying, fasting and for 7 days, ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Leave people in the complete suspense and in the dark. You in complete suspense, not knowing what I'm doing. I can tell you because, you know, it gives glory to God. It don't give glory to me. It gives glory. First and foremost, God gets his glory. You know what I'm saying? I took my game to the next level. My spirituality where, you know, I'm sending offerings out there to Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Philippines. And all of that is thousands of dollars, by the way. That's not $55. That's thousands of dollars. We're not playing no games over here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whatever misperceptions and misconceptions and understandings that you thought concerning me, you thought you had concerning me, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if you choose to embark on playing with somebody like me, and I told you I fasted for over 21 days, and that's half the time most of the highest ranking spiritual people did it in the Bible. Half of it. 21 days is a little over half of 40 days. That's common sense, right? Okay, and then this person
This person is giving offerings to Cambodia, a country you don't even know, Vietnam, Egypt. I done sent money to Egypt. Yeah, as in the pyramids, Egypt. Come on, man. You should have knew I was gonna do that. I'm sending money to Egypt, all of that, man. Listen, bro, you way out of league playing with me, man. I put that on everything I love, bro. You gonna get these people body, and we don't care none of. And my thing is this: as a prophet, I personally don't care about your attitude. That you think you're something, you're a hot shot spiritually, with witchcraft or whatever you're doing, and you think you're something because that's part of it. They think there's some spiritual hot shot. You're not, bro. You're nothing. I proved it. I proved it, man. We have manifestations. God's kingdom has manifestations. You know what I'm saying? You just want to be aligned with my greatness, and you can't be. You're not. Come on, bro. Listen. You playing yourself. Ain't nothing for you to think that you on my level. You tripping, bro. You absolutely tripping.